I made a video that's very complementary to this video a couple weeks ago, and it was about how to make friends online. And I think the same principles apply. And also, just in the age we're living in, like making friends online is actually quite useful if you do it properly. But yeah, just watch both of these videos if you just want to learn how to make friends. But for people who want to make friends in real life, there's actually quite like it's better, right? It's kind of like if you want to like meet a girl, right, or you want to like meet like your girlfriend and everything, it's better to meet them in real life than to like go on Tinder or something like that. So yeah, let me tell you in this video how you can like make friends in real life. And a lot of these things, they're kind of self-explanatory, but people are just too like afraid to explore them. And I think the reason that is that people don't like hold them in high regard, or recognize the importance of them. And I've outlined so many times in many of my videos, many of my recent videos, the importance of having a good core friend group, right? So I'm sure you know why it's important. So now we're going to talk about like how you do make friends in real life, right? And I will say the number one thing is like ask yourself, where are the people that you want to meet going to be? And then you go to those places, right? That's step number one. You just need to be in the same environment as those types of people. So the first thing you need to do is get your life right? Like this advice can't work for you if you're like, okay, I want to like get onto self-improvement and get better, but you know, a lot of the times like you either stay inside all the time, and the times you do go out, you're going out to clubs and parties, and you know that those kind of degenerate areas, right? Like that's not going to work very well for you. Like, so you need to get yourself in order. And also it's like the same advice like getting into a relationship. If you're not like fine with yourself first, you know, girlfriend isn't gonna solve that for you. Same thing applies with friendship. Like just get yourself in order a little bit. Although it is kind of like a twofold mechanism, which is like you get better, but also having good friends helps you get better, and then it's like twofold. But yeah, just get started, right? So the point I'm trying to make is that like, where are the friends you want to meet? Like for me, I made a friend very recently, literally a week ago, at a gym. Like I was at the gym. I visited my sisters, and at the apartment they have an apartment gym, and I was at the gym, right? And then there was this guy who was there, and he was gymming. And what did I do, right? So this is moving into the second point. The first point is just be around those types of people. Go to the places where the types of people you want to meet. Gym. I can't think about the examples. Church, library if you want to go there. But just think about it. Where the types of people you want to meet going to be, and go there, right? But moving on to the second point is you need to be able to read social cues. Like you need to. Although this more applies to like girls, like if you want to like approach a girl, you need to look and like see like she's looking at you and smiling and that sort of thing. But also just be like somewhat intelligible, because in this instance that I'm telling you now, where I made this friend, there were actually two guys there at the gym, and I just saw like the one guy. Like what I do is when I see people, I try to make eye contact with them. I'm not like staring at them like a creep, but I try to like anticipate when they're gonna look at me, and I look and I'm like, what's up? Or even just like a thumbs up, or whatever. I saw like the first guy, it wasn't very social. Like he kind of gave me like the way he said hi was just, I mean, it kind of pissed me off because I took it personally. Although, you know, it's the gym, some people don't want to talk there. I shouldn't have taken it personally, but either way, he said it in a way that made it seem like he didn't want to talk. So I was just like okay, like I said hi, and he kind of just like gestured back, and I moved on. I didn't say anything to him. But then this guy, I said hi to him, and then, you know, I was like hi, and then there was kind of like some silence because he was doing a set, and then I saw him, he was like writing something. I just asked him, oh, you're writing out like a workout there or something? And then he like answered back. And again, that's kind of like testing the waters. That's kind of how social situations work. Like you kind of test the waters a bit to see how it's going. And I asked him that question, and you know, he gave me back like a decent answer. Like he looked like he was in the mood to talk. And then I asked him his name, and you know, that sort of thing. And again, it's a give and take. Like I'll say something, and then he'll say something, and maybe ask a question back. It's just things like that, just knowing social cues, just knowing that someone wants to talk, and then from that you just, you know, ask questions. And I was speaking to this guy, I asked him, oh, are you on self-improvement by any chance? And then yeah, I got into self-improvement. We started speaking about like self-improvement and everything when he started gymming. I even asked him if he watched Hamza, and he was like, oh, everyone's watched Hamza, and that sort of thing. Then again, this thing about like testing the waters, right? And I wanted to see like where he's like politically, because you know that, you know, in this day and age, you like talking crap about woke culture, right? So I kind of heard him say something about like being like non-PC, like he was speaking about his friends at work, and like they're like non-PC, and I was like, huh. And then I kind of tested the waters a bit. I was like, I forgot what it was that I asked, but I basically prompted a question that brought up the discussion about like woke culture and like feminists and all of that. And then from then on, I kind of noticed like we've got the same like kind of political views, sort of speaking. Just about like speaking about like philosophy and stoicism and everything, and that like took our conversation to the next level, right? Because I'm just testing the waters to see like, I needed to know like the main things, right? I'm at the gym, he's at the gym, obviously like common interest, right? I said hi, he said hi back, and I kind of see if he wants to talk a bit. I'm reading the social cues. Then we start speaking, and then I'm asking, are you on self-improvement? And then, once, because that's like one of my main things, are you on self-improvement? And he's on self-improvement, we start speaking about things. Then the next level above that is like kind of like philosophy and like life philosophy and like beliefs and stuff. That's like politics and everything. And I told you how I got to like speak about that. Kind of heard him speak about like non-PC, and I was like, huh. It's against work culture, and then we started speaking about that, and we started speaking about philosophy and just things about life. We had a long conversation, by the way. It was like an hour and a half. This is at the gym. But yeah, things like that. So to get to like how are you gonna make friends, I just gave you like an example of how I made a friend. It's just be in the areas where those people are gonna be, right? To read like social cues, see if someone is kind of willing to talk or they don't want to talk. If they don't want to talk, that is what it is. Don't talk to them. Same thing applies with women. Like you do the same thing. It'll save you so much like rejection, basically. And then when you're speaking to the person, just kind of, you don't want to have shallow conversations. And again, this kind of thing, it's more of just like a social thing for like the whole picture. It applies to women as well. Like you don't want to have like shallow conversations, right? If you're speaking to someone like that you've just met, especially if there's a chance you might not see them again, and this was the case with my friend. I like got his number and now we can speak, right? You want to like prompt like the big conversations, not like anything too crazy. Like again, you're not going to speak about philosophy when you're talking to women, obviously. But like in this case, I want my friends to be like people who they know a lot about like philosophy and stoicism and like that kind of thing, and we just speak about life. So instantly, within an hour and a half, we had a good conversation about that, and that happened because I was just able to like prompt the topics that I do want to talk about, and that applies to you. What's important to you? Find a way to like kind of speak about that, but don't force it. Just prompt it, like little bit by little bit. Those are the questions that really bond you as people, right? Because also the dumb questions. Oh, do you have siblings? And I did ask those questions, but you get what I mean. It's like it doesn't build any rapport, right? You need like the serious questions, but it needs to be like an enjoyable kind of question. You don't want to like be peppering people with ridiculous questions they don't care about. But yeah, that's kind of it. Be in places where the people you want to meet are going to be, and don't be afraid to like say hi. Like, and this is something that's going to take a while. I actually wrote like an ebook about it a while ago. I've made tons of videos as well. Like you can find them on my channel, where I go more into depth about that. But yeah, like speak to people, just say hi, even if it's difficult for you to like start a whole conversation. It took me a while to be able to do that, but just start with like just saying hi to people. Then over time, start saying hi, ask a couple of questions. Again, just practice speaking to people. You need to do it. That's another thing. It's very important to know how to do it. We learned as kids, you like talk to people, and then you get older and you just become more closed off. Don't become more closed off, because you're going to be lonely, and then you're going to suffer with like a lot of people this generation are suffering with. So yeah, if you want to make friends, do that. Yeah, and if you want to make like online friends, I've got like a Discord, and I've got things in like my description. You can just read there. I'm also trying to make like a group of like-minded friends. So if you're interested in that, like just follow the instructions. I've got them in my bio, or in my description. But yeah, make sure you subscribe to join the Self-Improvement Brotherhood. And until next time, see you boys.